In this video, we're going to focus on how we can apply tooltips, but for example, in our case, we want to show the tooltips only for specific items. In this case, we want to show for everything except for this one here. But of course, you could only do maybe a single one or two items, let's say here for the yellow one and the blue one. So let's start to explore how we can show tooltips for specific data sets or for specific multiple data sets that we want. In this video, we're going to focus on one of the viewers' questions, which is how to show the tooltip for specific data sets of 2 or more instead of all in Chart.js. So this question came from one of my other videos about how to show tooltip only for one data set. And in here, the question, if you scroll down, you can see here the question came from Nat Truong. So a special thank you to Nat for asking the question. And this is what Nat asked. How can I show 2 specific datasets with the tooltip? I try to change the value in return to an array structure like that, but it does not work. Alright, so what you did correctly is this, or at least correctly, you have an understanding of how it works somehow behind the scene. It is an array. So this is very important. So you were somewhere close, but of course not exactly, because this is not the way you can do it in a return structure. So to start with it, let me show you exactly. What we're going to do here is we're going to go to this website here, Chartjs3.com, getting started, and you might notice this, somehow my Google Chrome gives an error. Anyway, what I want is just to grab here the default code, and we're going to use this code to start our chart. So we're going to paste this in here, and once we paste it in here, I'm going to just cut out the title, put the title in here, save this, and then refresh. Alright, so now we have this, and what I want to do now is just to duplicate multiple data sets. So I'm going to just copy this here, the data set here, and just paste it in here, comma, paste, and then we have, that's 2 more, so 2 more to go, 2, and yeah, there we are. So now in total we should have 5 items. There you are. So let's give these all a individual color. So I'm going to just grab this color here, put it in there, and comma here, of course. There, and a comma. Make sure that this is 0.2, or at least you can do that. It's not necessary. It's just basically nicer design. Anyway, so it's same here. It's the blue color, so I'm going to grab one that's the red color. And there we are. Finally here, I guess we get this color. I think this is orange or purple. I have no idea. So we just grab it, doesn't matter. Say here 0.2, and last one here, let's get the green color that's in there, and then we have a nice rainbow design, I guess, or something like that. 0.2, make sure you spell it correctly, save this, and then refresh. Alright, so now we have all these different colors here. We have basically the 4 primary colors, or the primary plus the green, and then we have here the black color. So what I want to do is, imagine this, I want to highlight only the red one and the black one. When I hover over the blue, I do not want to show the tooltip. So how can we do this? Well, if you watch the other video, you know how to do the single one. So let's do that first. So in here, we're going to say here plugins, and then in the plugins, make sure you have curly braces and not brackets, and comma here down, and then we say here tooltip, because we're going to go into the tooltip. And then we're going to say here the filter, and the filter is basically a callback function. So in here what we're going to grab is the tooltip item, and this tooltip item is a callback, remember, so we're going to use the function arrow expression. And you can do also function, it's one or the other. You can type in function here instead of this, but these days it's more common to have this, or that's the most recommended structure. Anyway, what we're going to do here now is the following. So well, let's say the following here, we're going to just do single value return, or not yet. Let me just do a console log. And this console log will just grab the tooltip item. Save this, refresh. So if I refresh here now, you can see here, nothing happens on the tooltip. It's not being triggered anymore, because we don't have a return, so it doesn't know what to show. However, that's not that important. What is more important is what we grab here. So if I refresh here, and just go hover over, you can see here we get a lot of information, and the most important information is basically the dataset index. That's the one we will need, because this basically relates to the index of the colors. It's very similar to this. If I click on this, what happens is it will understand that all the green bars where they are positioned needs to be removed. It's basically you're saying remove index of dataset index, whatever value that is. So this value here is the key to everything. So let's grab this one here, and that's basically what was done first. However, let me show you exactly. Let's only show a single item. So we say here tooltip, then item dot data set index equals, so if equals, let's say what is the color here that you want to grab? Let's say the red one, which would be so 0 1 2. That's index number 2. Put in here, save that, refresh, and there you are. So you can see it's doing something. Of course it's moving a bit, and then here it tracks. Alright, so the reason why this moves here is because there's only one tooltip. Basically it moves the tooltips, and it does recognize somehow that we're here, but it doesn't do anything here. It doesn't draw anything. So as you can see here, alright. So now we have this. So how do we solve them this? Well, there's basically two options. You can do it like this, but I would not recommend you to do it. And let's say here what would be the other color. Let's see this one. So you have 2, and this would be 4. So it's like an OR statement. So basically it says return this if equals 2 or 4. So then we have here this or that. There you are. Oh, it shows everything. Apparently it doesn't matter. Okay, so this is not the way to do it. So how do we do that? I thought this was possible, but I guess it's not. So we're going to do it very easy. Here we're going to create a simple if statement. This if statement will say the following. We will create the condition. So we say here, if tooltip item dataset dot this equals to, or this equals 4, in that case show the value. So if I save this, make sure we have this, and there we are. So why, when you try to do with the equal, and then we have this bracket 0 comma this, or whatever your value was, why is it not possible? Apparently you're not allowed to do really a formula in here. Apparently with the if statement, this one was just acceptable, and then you notice the second one we did this, it was starting to do weird. So it doesn't allow, it's not flexible. So what is more better is basically this here. Secondly, having them here in the bracket like this is also not possible anyway. Why? This is what we call callback. You can almost think like an array that's being looped. It will look to one value and loop through this first value. And then this will create an error, or it just doesn't understand what's going on here. So that's why we just do it here. It will loop through it, and then we'll just see which value we have. So if I save this now, let's save this, refresh, and just check. You can see here, now I'm on blue. You can see it recognizes we're on blue if I'm on here, but it just doesn't do anything. But if I'm on red, there you are. And if I go black, there you are, there you are, there you are, and that's it. So that's basically what you can do here. So if you want to only have one single one, you can say not equal to, let's say, number 2. And number 2 would be the red one. So anything but red should be shown. So if I'm here, it doesn't show, but the others, oh, not equal to, and even green I realize is not showing. Alright, so fair enough. I guess that would be not the best option. So if I save, refresh here, let's try if this equals 0, if this one works. Save that, refresh, and there we are. Alright, so here we have a data set, and this data index equals, am I correct? Is that 1? Data index here. Data set index. Alright, so let me check here what's going on here. Why this is not working, or maybe the equal strict is not allowed. So we're going to do not that strict. Alright, this is fascinating. So I'm not expecting this to have an error. So let's explore what's going on here. Alright, so I just checked it and I realized a mistake from my side. So what was the issue? This one doesn't work. Why? Because we have this here, so we don't need this. Just do the tooltip item. That's the only thing we want to show anyway. So if I refresh now, you can see here, now this works. We have only the black one and the green one. So let's do the strict. It should work now here as well. There we are, and there we are. So if you would do here another one, we have this, or anything except the red one, which was, so anything except number 2. Let's see if this will work nicely. If I save that, refresh. So if I hover over this is fine. Hover over here, and hover over here is fine. But if I do the red one, as you can see here, it doesn't work. So the green, there you are. So that is basically it. So make sure you don't make the same mistake as I did. You can just do here the tooltip item. It will show it all at all. It will show everything what is needed. So if you like this video and maybe you want to go even more deeper into the tooltips, I have another video that I highly would recommend, which is the video how to add more information in the tooltip in Chartjs. And this one goes deep into anything what you can customize in the tooltip, because maybe you want to do some advanced customization. It will go from top to bottom, which is extremely useful to understand.